It is such a wonderful day to have you in my class, my dear virtual learners. How do you do? Oh, I got an idea. I want you to let me know how are you feeling today through a title of a song. For example, how are you today? You can answer, I feel happier, or I'm speechless. Or it could be, I'm ultra-luminary. Come on, comment your answers below. How are you feeling today? I'm glad that most of you feel great today. I am your virtual teacher this morning, and I gladly welcome you all for another virtual learning experience only here at Valenzuela Live. Just a few reminders before we start. Please make sure to have your learning modules in English ready because your tasks will also be explained at the end of the lesson. You might be needing a pen and paper to note significant details from our discussion. Don't forget to note and reserve your queries for our question and answer portion. Allow me to present to you our most essential learning competency. That is, to make connection between text to particular social issues, concerns, or disposition in real life. We will also be aiming to enhance this sub-skill, infer thoughts, feelings, and intentions in material viewed. We will be using Module 5, written by Mrs. Maria Carmela D. Fajardo from Mapulang Lupa National High School. Are you ready? Let's keep the ball rolling. During my last virtual class, we got very tired because we traveled from one place to another. This time, we are going to have another exciting getaway. Who's up for some time traveling? Yes, you heard me right. I knew it! Let me show you something. You see this cool thing behind me? You bet. This is unbelievably a time machine. Can you imagine if we can travel back to the time before the COVID-19 pandemic spread in our country? What could have we done? What if you can go back to the time when you can still spend more time with people you love? What could you have told them? Or do for them? Nah, let's not talk about the past. It's always best to look ahead, right? So for today, we are going to go time traveling to the future. Are you ready? First stop, 2031. Just a sec. While we are on our way, I want you to comment your answers on this question. How do you see yourself 10 years from now? Write your answers in the comment box below. All right, we're good to go. Fasten your seatbelts, wear your helmets, and hold on tight. Oh, I can't believe it. We are here. Oh, I see myself as a teacher? Really? Still a teacher? I probably love this job a lot. How about you? Let me read your answers. Oh, one of you says he already married the woman of his dreams. Good for you. Another one says, she's already a successful model. Interesting. Why don't we go farther this time? While we are on our way, I want you to write your answers in the comment box. How do you see yourself 20 years from 2021? Are you ready? Here we go! Whoa! This is incredible! Wait! Is that me? Where do I get those wrinkles and white hairs? No, this is not happening. I should probably change my skincare brand as early as now. What about you? Let me read your answers. One of you says he already has 2 cute sons with his Korean crush, Jisoo. No way! Another one says she has already migrated to Canada and become a successful businesswoman there. Oh, I also dream of going there someday. Oh, this is becoming outrageously fun. Why don't we travel 40 years from 2021? So that's probably year 2061. So, how do you see yourself by that time? Comment your answers below. Ready? Brace yourselves! I guess we're here. Wait. Why can't I see anything? Is the time machine busted? Oh, right. By that time, I'm 73, so I'm probably dead, right? What about you? Let's see your answers. One of you says he is already a retired policeman and enjoying his remaining days doing gardening. Whoa! From policeman to plantito? Unbelievable! Another one says she cares for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Oh, that's very sweet. So, you see, in a way, we can see a glimpse of our life in the future because almost all of us go through the same stages from birth to death. Today, we are going to deal with a 400-year-old literary piece that depicts the phases of a man's life. This is entitled The 7 Ages of Man by William Shakespeare. But before that, let's head back to the present and unlock the meaning of some unfamiliar words you will encounter from the poem. And you will be delighted to know that a very familiar guest is waiting to help you in this task. Can you guess who she is? Let me give you a clue. She's the one who helped you uncover mysteries and solve crimes. Are you excited to meet her? Again? So, what are you waiting for? Fasten your seat belts. Wear your helmets. Hold on tight. Back to the present. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Oh, it feels like ages since the last time we've met. I'm glad to be able to be of some help again for Teacher Jamin's class. This is once again Enola Holmes, the detective at your service. And by the way, I'd like you to meet Meiji, our Paw Patrol buddy today. She's one of the most intelligent of her kind from the best canine unit in England. Come on, Meiji, show them. 1 plus 1. Hey, 1 plus 1. She's a little bit shy sometimes. Let me try again. Meiji, roll over. Meiji, roll over. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. Don't worry. I think she's just shy and she's not just in the mood. Well, actually, Meiji's specialty is not doing these petty tricks. She's good at sniffing, searching for drugs and explosives, locating missing people, and finding crime scene evidence. That's why she will help us find clues for today's task. Right, Meiji? Hey, I'm asking you, right? Or you'll never have a jerky today. Let's test your wits in Mystery Case Files. Find the hidden objects. The directions are very simple. I am going to show you the crime scene and we will look for hidden objects based on the definition that will be given to you. You can answer by a screenshot of the crime scene and circling the object from the picture. Once you're sure, upload the picture in the comment section. I'll give you 40 seconds to look and upload the pictures. Easy peasy, right? So, without further ado, here is crime scene number 1. The first object we are looking for is a satchel. It is a small school bag, sometimes with a shoulder strap. Back to the crime scene. Can you find where the satchel is? 40 seconds starts now. Time is running. Again, it is a small school bag with a shoulder strap. Take a screenshot, circle the object, and upload your answer in the comment section. Your time is up. So, Meiji, where's the satchel? Huh? Where? Okay, let me show you. Did you find it? Good work. Let us now move on to the next hidden object. We are looking for a furnace. A furnace is a structure or apparatus in which heat may be generated, as for heating houses, smelting ores, or producing steam. You think you can find it? 40 seconds start now. Tick-tock. You must have all the clues by now. Upload the pictures below. Five seconds. Time is up. Yes, Meiji. Did you find it? Where? Oh, Let's reveal the answer now. There is the furnace. How many of you got it? Impressive. Moving on to our hidden object number 3. We are actually looking for a part. Here is the clue. It is legendary animal presumably inherited a mane from its leonine cousins. So basically, we are looking for an animal that looks somewhat a lion or a leopard. Ready? 40 seconds. Start now. Come on, you can do it. It's easier than what you think it is. Upload your pictures now. And the time is over. According to Meiji, here is where we can find the part. Did you find it? No way. Let's check out our next crime scene. Ooh, what a mess. So first object we are looking for here is a capon. It is a rooster that has been castrated before reaching sexual maturity, which improves the quality of the meat. Yes, you heard it. Capon is simply a rooster. Now, go find it here in 40 seconds. I think this one is the easiest. Don't you agree, Meiji? Huh? Did you find it? Really? That was fast. Meiji found it already. How about you? Upload your pictures now. "40 seconds is now over, and you can find capon here." How many of you got the correct answer? Awesome! Let's check out our next item. Oh, not actually an item. We need to find a pantaloon. It is a foolish, vicious old man that is usually a skinny old dotard who wears spectacles, slippers, and a tight-fitting combination of trousers and stockings. Our key word for this is old man. Back to the crime scene and look for him in 40 seconds. Don't forget to upload the pictures in the comment box. Meiji found it already. What about you? Time is up! Pantaloon is just right here. Do you have the same answers? Cool! Now, give your best shot in finding our last hidden object. Are you ready? Let's go! We are trying to find spectacles. For your clue, it is a pair of glasses for correcting defective vision. Keyword, eyeglasses. Hurry! find it here in 40 seconds. Don't tell me you're giving up now. Look closer. I know you'll find it. Spectacles are found right here. Did you get a perfect score? Wow, you're a superstar! Thank you, Meiji, for giving me a hand. Or should I say, for the paw? Here is your treat as promised. Now that you have unlocked the meaning of those terms, I think you are ready to read The 7 Ages of Man. Meiji and I will take a quick break, but we will be with you shortly. Teacher Jamin will be assisting you from here. See you later, alligator! Bye! So, how was your investigation with Detective Enola and Paw Patrol Meiji? Did you get at the bottom of those crimes? I'm sure you did. At this point, I want you to get your learning modules and open it on page 23. You will see there the poem, The 7 Ages of Man by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare lived around 400 years ago, yet his works continue to be read and dramatized by people around the world. Shakespeare is best known for his sonnets and plays. As You Like It is one of the most enacted comedies. The 7 Ages of Man is an excerpt from this play. As You Like It is believed to be set in France. It features several characters and depicts a variety of themes, such as rivalry, the thrill of love, the phases of human life, intrigue, and the differences between urban and rural life. The 7 Ages of Man is a monologue by a character named Jack. It occurs in Act 2, Scene 7 of the play. It is one of Shakespeare's most widely quoted speeches. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a waffle ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the part. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise sauce and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful host will save the world too wide for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. Turning again toward childish treble, pipes, and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness in mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Here is a brief summary of the poem. The poet compares the world to a stage and the people in the world to actors. People are born to play their respective parts and then they pass away. During his or her lifetime, a person plays 7 roles associated with the 7 stages of maturity. The first stage is infancy. In this stage, a person plays the role of an infant who cries and vomits in the hands of the nurse. He is dependent on others for his physical well-being. The second stage is childhood. The infant has now grown into a young child who goes to school rather reluctantly. Perhaps he is unwilling to leave the protected environment of his home, or perhaps he is unhappy with the various disciplining forces of life. The third stage is adolescence, or early youth. The person now plays the role of a lover and writes poems to his beloved. The fourth stage is youth, or early adulthood. The person plays the role of a soldier. He is bearded and agile like a part, which is an abbreviation of the word leopard. He picks fights easily and seeks fame, however short-lived it may be. He is at the peak of his physical strength and courage. He is even ready to put his life at risk to make a reputation for himself. The fifth stage is middle age. The fit and rash young man becomes a pot-bellied and matured man. He is now familiar with the ways of the world and reaches a position of influence in society. He plays the role of a judge and passes judgment on various aspects of life. The sixth stage is old age and marks the decline of a person. He loses weight and his skin begins to sag. His eyesight turns poor, his deep masculine voice starts to sound thin and high-pitched. The seventh stage is that of extreme old age. This stage is compared to second childhood, as the person is dependent on others just like a child. This is the final phase of a person's life. He becomes forgetful and loses his ability to see, hear, and taste. Eventually, he dies. The poem uses the analogy of an actor on stage to depict the 7 phases of a person's life, from birth to death. The poem is about the cycle of life. From birth to death, a person goes through several stages. At first, the infant, then the whining schoolboy, then the lover, next the soldier, then the justice, then the lean and slippered pantaloon, and the last scene of all, the second childishness of man. The poem talks about the physical changes a person goes through in his life. The infant cradles in the nurse's arms, a soldier who is bearded like and agile like the part, the justice in fair round belly, the shrunk old man with his big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble, and finally, a man on his deathbed with none of his 5 senses functioning, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. The poem also traces the psychological changes of a person as he grows old. He is an emotional lover, sighing like furnace, a rash soldier full of strange oaths who then transform into a mature and worldly wise justice full of wise saws and modern instances. Then in his old age, his mental faculties deteriorates and he suffers from loss of memory or oblivion. In a way, the poem is also about mortality. Let's take the line, they have their exits and entrances. Entrances refer to birth, and exits refer to death. Later on, Shakespeare states that one man in his lifetime plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. These lines emphasize that a person's life is limited to 7 phases, and at the end of the seventh stage, a man slips into mere oblivion, sans everything. In other words, a person passes away. The poem is centered around a metaphor that the world is a stage. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. The world is associated with a stage, and the people in the world are equated with actors on stage. Just like actors have their entrances and exits, people are born and eventually die. Actors are controlled by the director in the same way the people in the world are directed or controlled by the so-called destiny. Like an actor, a person plays many roles in his life. The phases of his life are compared into acts in a play. Shakespeare has used similes in the poem. Unwilling to go to school, the boy is described as creeping like snail. The lover is shown sighing like furnace. The soldier is bearded like the part. Alliterations are also used in the poem. For example, the sound of p is repeated in place and part. W is repeated in well, world, and white, and sh is repeated in shrunk, shank. The last line of the poem employs repetition to emphasize the unconsciousness, old age, and death. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. I hope this simple animation helped you understand the poem better. Do you remember the 7 ages of man that we have just discussed? How familiar are you in each stage? Let's find out. At this point, I will again be needing the help of my dear friend Enola and Paw Patrol Meiji. Would you like to have another exciting activity with our witty detectives? Here they are! I told you we are just having a quick break. A while ago, we looked for hidden objects through the different clues given. You think you already have what it takes to be a detective? Aside from looking clues, being a detective means you must also have the ability to analyze people. People who can be witnesses, who can be victims, who can be suspects, or even the culprit himself. Our next adventure is Mystery Case Files. Guess the characters. A while ago, Teacher Jamin discussed the 7 ages of man from infant to second childishness. Your next task is guess who these characters are based on the descriptions that will be given. Is it gonna be Mikey the infant, Alex the schoolboy, Rex the lover, Gaston the soldier, Gary the judge, Anton the slippered pantaloon, or Henry the dotard? Write your answers in the comment section below. Are you ready? Here is our first clue. He always wakes up late and hates school. He is often caught sleeping or eating during class. He always forgets about his homework and loves to play basketball. What do you think? Who among these characters is being described? Comment your answers below. If you say it's Alex the schoolboy, then you nailed it! Let's check out our next mystery person. He is courageous and full of vigor, with a never back down kind of attitude. He zealously protects his honor and doesn't hesitate to quarrel in proving his point. So, who could it be? Find the keywords and you'll never go wrong here. What are your answers? Wow, you're really witty, aren't you? The correct answer is Gaston the soldier. Put on your thinking caps for our mystery person number 3. He is full of wisdom and modern examples where they are relevant. He carries about his part, imparting knowledge and carrying out the duty of justice. The answer is already there. Come on, write your answers in the comments box. If you say it's Gary, the judge, then you got it. We are just warming up. Let's move on to our mystery person number 4. He is a helpless baby and always crying, throwing up, and vomiting in his mother's lap. He knows little to nothing about the world. Are you kidding me? This is super easy. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of correct answers in the comment box. You're right. It is definitely Mikey, the infant. How about a little more challenging this time? This is our clue. He begins to become dependent on others for care. He would be unable to interact with the world around him as he experiences a second innocence. He loses his senses and lives in a state of utter forgetfulness. Careful, this must be very tricky. You might mistake it for the other one. I know what you're thinking. Is it Anton the slippered pantaloon, or is it Henry the dotard? Let's see who got it. The correct answer is Henry the dotard. Let's move on to our 6th mystery person. He is grown into his late teens, and his main interests are girls. He is likely to make a bit of a fool of himself with them. He is sentimental, sighing and writing poems to his dream girls. Though frustrated, he seeks pleasures in his woes. I'm sure most of you can relate to this stage already. So, what do you think? Let's reveal the answer now. It is undoubtedly Rex the lover. Let's check out our final mystery person. He begins to lose his charm, both physical and mental. He becomes lean and pale. He puts glasses on his nose. He carries a pouch of tobacco in his pocket. The world is too wide for him now. His manly voice mellows into a childish treble. I know, we only have one choice to choose from. So don't hesitate anymore. Comment your answers below. Yes, you're correct. This must be Anton the slippered pantaloon. Meiji and I would like to thank you for taking part in our simple detective games. I hope you learned a lot and at the same time enjoyed being with us. Till we see each other again, bye! That was indeed another exhilarating activity with Detective Enola and Paw Patrol Meiji. I'm sure you have already mastered finding clues and analyzing poems. So, To sum up our discussion today, we have learned that The Seven Ages of Man is a speech by a character Jack in the play As You Like It, which illustrates and epitomizes the character's melancholy, world-weary pessimism. Jack argues that human life is essentially ridiculous, mostly miserable, and ultimately futile or meaningless. Through the voice of Jack, Shakespeare sends out a profound message about life and our role in it. It breaks down the complexities of human life into exceedingly simple stages and makes a sweeping generalization as to the way an individual progresses in life. The entirety of human life and the poet's view on it is covered in the dialogue of Jack in merely 7 sentences. Yes, we may go through the same stages of life, and it can be very predictable most of the times. But what matters is how we spend it, what roles we choose to play, and what we do to make a difference. So, what will you do next? Hold on. Is it really time for Q&A? I think I overlooked the time. I had so much fun in our discussion today. If you have questions about our topic, I will be more than happy to address your queries. Just type your questions below in the comment section. Your 1 minute starts now. As always, I am both excited and a little nervous about your questions. Let us look at our question number 1 from our virtual learner from Kanumay East National High School. Why did the character Jack make the dramatic speech through this poem? Well, for you to find the complete answer here, you really have to read the whole play As You Like It. But, to give you an idea, the dialogue takes place in Scene 7 of Act 2, where the dreamy philosopher Jack is talking to Duke Senor and Orlando in the forest of Arden. They're having dinner when Duke Senor confesses to Jack that he and his man are alone and unhappy, whereas the whole world is full of joy. The 7 Ages of Man is the reply of Jack gives to Duke Senor. The purpose of this reply is partly to console the sad Duke Senor and partly to tell the audience of the play that unhappiness is a part of life and that we all go through certain stages of life. The extract is also regarded as the character's comment on the futility of life. Our second question came from our virtual learner from Maysan National High School. What does "sense everything" probably mean in line 28 of the 7 Ages of Man? The word "sense" literally means without. So, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything emphasize the unconsciousness, old age, and death, where none of the senses are still functioning. Sad, isn't it? Anyway, moving forward to our last question. And it will be coming from our virtual learner from Lawang Baton National High School. Is there any moral we can learn from this poem? That made me think. In the first place, we must understand that this passage is not a standalone poem, nor can we assume that it was intended by Shakespeare to advocate any particular moral injunction. The speech represents an extreme point of view that we are born. We grow up, we do various things, or perform certain roles in life, that of the lover, for example. We grow old, we die. But I suppose the amusement of the speech, and perhaps its moral, as per Jack's point of view, is that even as we suppose we are individuals living our lives in an individual way and finding our experiences wonderfully new, we are merely performing roles. There we have it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for actively participating in our question and answer portion. I am positive that you will be able to complete the succeeding tasks in your learning modules. Allow me to give you a quick walkthrough on the tasks you need to accomplish. The first one is what I know. In this activity, you are going to choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on a separate sheet of paper. The next task is, what's more? Here, you are going to read the poem The 7 Ages of Man from a comedy As You Like It by William Shakespeare and ponder on the questions under self-check. After that, you are going to do Activity 1, Comprehension Check, wherein you are going to choose the correct answer to the questions based on the poem and encircle the letter of your choice. Lastly, for the assessment, you will simply choose the correct answer to the questions based on the poem and encircle the letter of your choice. You definitely have lots of rich activities to accomplish. I'm sure you will enjoy them. Before we end, I would like to thank our technical support teacher and our teacher moderator for their contribution in making this learning engagement possible. This has been Teacher Jamin, and see you again next time for another episode of Virtual English Class, only here at Valenzuela Live, where distance is never a hindrance in learning. Stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye!